Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we have got the puzzle solving butterfly of Bermuda to help us. Today we are looking at the Hanayama cast donuts puzzle. Looks like an interesting one. It is a level 4 difficulty out of 6 on the Hanayama rating scale. So far we are 6 for 6 in our puzzle solving statistics. Hopefully today we can make it 7 from 7. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so here it is, the donut puzzle. Now our aim, looking at the box, is to split these two donuts into these 4 bits. So, looking at this, the 2 silver bits are just split straight around the middle. So they come apart like that. So yeah, these 2 bits are split slightly differently. So if we get rid of the box, so if we look at this bit here, so we've got a whole circle of the donut there, and then that comes around there. Let's turn that, and then yeah, it's mirrored on the other side there. Now in terms of movement, these 2 bits spin around each other, and these 2 bits, so they have a bit of movement apart from each other. You can see that. You see that gap just in there. There's nothing that actually links them together. They are completely separate from each other. So I'm guessing that the circle part of this one is what is helping keep these 2 together. You see, like here, there's on the darker donut, which we call these, is that a blue colour? No, we'll call this silver and grey. So on the grey donut, there is, you can see the gap down there, that is just completely separate from each other. There's nothing connecting this donut together at that point. So there's quite a bit of movement up and down there. See, when we pull that apart there, we can see there's a silver sort of, I don't know, like rod going between the 2 that's keeping them together. So I don't know whether it's a part of the top bit going into the bottom bit, or whether it's this bottom bit going into the top bit. Okay, so you can see there. So that rod just in there, you can see, is a part of the bottom bit, because it goes into this top bit here. So I'm guessing it's exactly the opposite way around in here. Yeah, so in there, it's the rod is a part of this bit. We've also got quite a bit of movement outwards here, and again you can see there's sort of a rod going in there, and that's a part of this side, and one here as well. Let's pull that apart again. There's a rod in there connecting it, and that's the other way around, so that's on there going into the other side. But actually, and the fact that these spin around each other, so you see here we can't twist. I'll use my fingers because it's quite hard to see them spinning because they're quite reflective. So my fingers are keeping the donut still on each side. So we're spinning this way. Ooh, and we were. Oh yeah, so here we can't spin anymore this way, because I'm guessing those 2 rods are bumping into each other. So I'm guessing they need to be in a certain position for something to happen. There doesn't seem to be any variance as these are spin around, in terms of, like, it's not wider, it doesn't come apart further at one point or get closer together at another. Now does this have to be in a certain position around this one? My guess is that the grey one is the one that's going to have to do some sort of movement first before this one, because I can only see this one coming apart once this one's apart. So do these have to be in a certain position around here? So I don't know, can we open that and that? You know, if I have this silver one on the bit on like this, so this grey one, if we have the silver bit on this gap here, there's stuff stopping it in terms of, is there? No, so in theory there's nothing stopping this one from lifting up and off. Oh, so we've got something here. But all I've done here is, wow, held that open and twisted that. And have we done it? Oh wow, we've done it. That was quick. 14 minutes. Wow. Now we need to understand how that happened. So I've had a little play around with each bit individually, and as much as I can, it's very simple to understand how each separate donut connects together. You got the bit there that goes into there, and the knobbly bit there that goes into there. So it's nice and straightforward. Same thing with this one. You got two knobbly bits on the end, and they fit into the circle going around the opposite side, and that's what spins and sort of lets that happen. What I can't quite understand is how they both fit together, or how it unlocks, and how it doesn't just fall apart as easy as it did when we first did it. Now it took us 14 minutes to get it apart, which is a new record. Yeah, but this is the first time I've got it apart and not known how, which is interesting. So the next challenge, putting it back together, is going to take some understanding in how we do it. So it might take a little bit longer. So let's see how we get on. We did it! We solved another one. 7 out of 7, and we actually set a new unofficial record. You're gonna have to trust me when it comes to how long it took me to do each one. And this was the fastest one we've ever done. It was this one from a couple of weeks ago, the loop puzzle. It took around 15 minutes, I don't know the exact time. But this one, I know for a fact, took us 14 minutes, or just short of 14 minutes. And we actually solved it that fast that I didn't fully understand how it opened to start with. I had another go just to sort of try and figure out how we did it, because putting it back together was tough, not knowing how it went together. It took us 5 minutes to put it back together, which was better than expected. But I found the key was playing around with the knobbly bits on the inside of the silver part. Now when you got the knobbly bits on opposite sides, you actually get a bit of movement up and down. Now when you get that movement up and down, what you need is the silver circle around the gap that is like the full gap in the grey donut. It might not make too much sense, but once you've got those essentially lined up, that gap there onto there, and then you get the halves lined up here, that's when you get a bit of leeway, and that's when you can separate these and you can get it straight open straight away. Something new we're actually going to start doing at the end of these. Now we are slowly but surely building up a decent collection of these, and although these puzzles themselves are ranked by Hanayama in terms of difficulty, as you already know, that is an out of 6 scale. Now my girlfriend suggested that I also rank these in order of difficulty, which I thought was a brilliant idea. So I've already done that in terms of the ones that we've already done. So let's get rid of this one. So left hand side easiest, right hand side hardest. Now if you don't know already, the boxes actually tell you what difficulty that Hanayama rank them. So you got the black boxes are level 5s and level 6s. These blue boxes are level 3s and 4s, I'm guessing. I don't actually have a level 3 yet. And then these silver boxes are the level 1s, and I'm guessing 2s again, because I don't have a level 2 puzzle yet. So, as you can see, the order that I have them in are actually a different order to what Hanayama rates them. Obviously you would expect level 1, then level 4s, and then the level 5, and then the 3 level 6s. But it's not like that from my perspective. Now, my criteria for ranking them in terms of difficulty is going to be probably based on time more than anything. How frustrated I got, the longer it took, essentially, I'm going to assume the harder it was. Basically, that's not strictly true, but as a basic principle, that's how I'm going to rank them. Now, we started with the loop puzzle. This one was very easy. We did this very quickly. Now, the next one is actually a level 6 puzzle, the news puzzle. Now, this one, as soon as you know how you think it opens, you can understand that one. It's relatively simple. The hardest one, I'm not going to go through all of them. The hardest one was the vortex one from a couple of weeks ago. This one is so fidgety. And there's so many steps you have to get to and positions you have to know, and it's so fiddly to get to those positions. This is by far the hardest one, because when you approach those fiddly positions and trying to go through the steps without having any idea whatsoever what those steps are, is very, very tough. So to get it from this position into this position and then know that that has to come out of there and so on is tough. And just give me 2 minutes, I'll put this one back together. There we go. So I guess we're going to start a new tradition, if you like, in terms of ranking the new puzzle or placing it in the order of where it should go. So it's definitely one of the easier ones. Again, if it's the fastest one we've ever done, if you base it on the criteria I just described, it should be here. But it's not actually going to go there. This is complicated, I think. I think this one's harder than the news puzzle. I think the level 6 rating on this one is wrong, to be honest. I think it is that is a very easy one. But I do think it's, I don't know actually. Is this one harder than the nutcase? I think going back to the time criteria, if you like, I'm going to say the nutcase was harder. So this one, the donut puzzle, is going to slot in between these two right there. So there we go. 7 puzzles tried, 7 puzzles solved, and we've got a new ordering system, which I quite like. If you don't like it, let me know, or if you do like it, please let me know in the comments below. If you're at this point in the video, I'm assuming that you have been entertained in some fashion, so please click that like button as well. And if you want to see more videos like this, then click my face that should be around here somewhere to subscribe. And there'll also be links to a couple of the other videos that you can see here, probably over here somewhere. Thank you very much for being here. Peace!